Hello, this is Molly Reamer with 30 Days of Goddess in Bridget's Grove with this week's mini ritual using earth runes as well as the Story Goddess Oracle and assists from several other decks, which I will talk about in a minute. You may notice that I am accompanied today by exuberant cicada song. It definitely is starting to feel like summer here, and there is an absolute chorus and riot of activity, growth, abundance, and change really all around us. So anyway, today our card from the Earth Runes deck, we're on the 22nd card already, and really appropriately for this month in which we are working with Freya, this is the Lovers, the rune of love. Unity, connection, passion, enfolding, teamwork, commitment, shared focus, looking outward together, creating a life and sharing. So what do you love? Do you feel embraced by love? And a reminder that love is all around us. We can love this land we walk on. We can love that cicada chorus. We can love the moon and the trees and the river. There are all types of ways to be in love with our lives and with our environments. It doesn't have to be another person necessarily that we feel enraptured by. I do find the looking outward together in the same direction is incredibly important. Guidepost in my own relationship, my own marriage, that has been a guidepost for us for 26 years, 29 years if you count the dating years, that we look outward together in the same direction. So this rune may also ask you to consider how you are working with others. Do you feel like you're part of a team? Do you feel like you're creating in harmony with other people? Do you feel connected? Do you feel in touch with your own passion? Or do you feel like you need to reach out in more connection? Do you feel like you need to consciously engage with what you love? Do you feel like perhaps you need to acknowledge the people in your life that you love, perhaps with a little bit more consciousness and intent, and not taking anybody for granted, but reaching out to one another with love? Okay, so the sun is back, which is great, but it is casting a shadow here on my cards, and I'm just going to go ahead and work with that. Anyway, I did want to, I'm going to go ahead and go with this card first, which is the Freya card from the Goddess Inspiration Oracle Guide by Chris Walter. I almost forgot that I had this deck. This is a deck that I've actually had for a number of years. It was one of my early Goddess Oracle decks, and I haven't used it or worked with it in a long time. And so it's been fun to discover some of our goddesses from our Goddess Guidance Club Wheel of the Year here in these cards. So the message here, they have Freya as the goddess of beauty, and the message is to acknowledge the power of beauty. So where are you noticing beauty in your life? I already touched on what is blooming and flourishing, what's being renewed in your life and landscape, but where are you noticing beauty? Where are you tapping into beauty? And so the little company guidebook has some information of Freya as the goddess of beauty, love, and art. And the Norse goddess Freya presided over the living and the dead. She was responsible for the souls of half of the warriors who perished in battle. And despite that grim duty, she was mainly honored as a goddess of beauty and love, forces more powerful than war and death. Sometimes she rode through the sky in her golden chariot drawn by 2 gray cats, or 2 orange cats sometimes. In other times, she wore a falcon skin cloak, which enabled her to fly through the air like a bird. When compared to the pragmatic needs of life, beauty is something society often views as unnecessary, but it is a nurturing force that all humans need. How empty our lives would be without beauty. Beauty offers us an authentic experience of the divine that can shake us to our core. So Freya reminds us of that healing power of beauty and the authentic experiences of the divine that can shake us to our core. So may you be alert for beauty this month. May you keep your eyes open for beauty, and may you find those moments of beauty, form a connection to the divine. Then I have 2 decks that are brand new to me. Thank you to the generosity of some of the members of my Patreon community, my Goddess Magic Patreon community. I got 2 birthday presents. Actually, I got several birthday presents, but these 2 decks were both birthday presents. One from Nikki, who sent this Dream Gate Oracle, which I actually had never even heard of or don't remember having heard of it before. So that's been fun to explore. And I think it's really appropriate that we got this animal kin, because Freya's relationship with the cats is such a powerful aspect of her story, such a connecting piece of her story. And so animal kin, sweet familiars, messengers, and companions. So where are you? What is your relationship like with the animals in your life? I have cats myself. They're mainly my kids are the ones who pay the most attention to them. But I really feel a connection to the animals of my home landscape. That's where the animal. I always have said that I prefer to, watch the animals where they live than have animals as pets. And so I really love the animals of my own Missouri landscape. And so anyway, how are you connecting with animals? And the messages from the guidebook are that connected to the idea of animals as messengers, both in the dream time and the waking tapestry of life. They can hold powerful messages for us individually and collectively. They may symbolize untamed aspects of ourselves that wish to be expressed, and they also remind us to connect to our own authenticity and to this beautiful, holy earth. And in our waking life, sometimes we experience animals in terms of a familiar, our pet, as a magical helper, as a beloved pet or a soul animal that shows up in uncanny moments. Most people know that I have that type of relationship with crows in my life, but I also have it with hawks and sometimes as well with deer and snakes as well. So there may be animals that speak to us in our landscapes and our lives. There might be, a crow that calls to you or a hummingbird that comes to visit you. Maybe you dream of dolphins or love the gentle songs of whales. So this book says that animals can sometimes feel like a direct link to the divine, unveiling a glimpse into something far beyond our limited perception. So they can also shed light into our deepest inner worlds, offering insight into who we are, why we are here, and how we align with being alive. So what are you sensing about the sweet familiars in your life? Are you being invited to be gentler or more ferocious? Are you being invited to be independent, expressive, or still? And so the two questions: how can I tap into my wildest expressions? And how can I learn from the animal kin? How can you learn from the animal kin? And then the second gift deck was this Rooted Woman Oracle, which came from Taryn in our Goddess Magic community. And this just has such enchanting art. I just love the way the illustrations are done. And so the card, this is the first time I'm using this in a mini ritual, and the card we received is the Return, which is really personally meaningful to me because I am coming back to the word return again and again and again. I'm going to use it as the name of my next, I just wrote Replenish, and the next volume in the Goddess Devotional series is going to be called Return. I actually just got another ring, I don't know if you can see that says Return on it, because I really feel like the essence many times of my spiritual practice, the essence of 30 Days of Goddess, the essence of spiritual practice in general is about that process of return. So I'm really working a lot with this notion of return and thinking about return in terms of even just the rituals of returning. I'm thinking of shaping my next year's work around that rituals of returning, or rites of returning and reclaiming. And so anyway, from the guidebook for the Rooted Woman Oracle, it says when the heroine returns from her journey, she brings back to the world a gift, a way of seeing and of being that is uniquely hers. She must begin to decide how, using those gifts, she can work to restore the fertile feminine principle to the world, to speak for the earth itself, and to take responsibility for the healing of the wasteland. In this challenging world we live in, our newfound wisdom should be grounded, rooted, and earthy. The creative, regenerative power of life comes from an understanding of our place in the wider web of life on this earth. Our task in return is to bring about a reenchantment of our relationship with the earth, reattuning with the sense of the sacred in our landscapes. And this is a really important aspect. It is not always easy to return, and sometimes we might want to refuse it. Sometimes it's easier to sink into the magical otherworldliness of the journey. And for some of us, there's a strong temptation to stay withdrawn from the challenging everyday world, to go into a permanent retreat, or to make the search for personal enlightenment and self-illumination our lifetime's work. If we do that, the world will come knocking, because as the world and our own species lurches from crisis to crisis, as we listen to the cry of a grieving earth, the call to return is strong. The return card invites us to imagine a place in which we can be grounded and rooted, a place in which our particular gifts and wisdom can flourish, a place in which we can fully embrace the natural world around us and our part in it, a place from which we can speak. So many great messages about the return. I don't even know if you can see these cards. I'm sorry about the light. I should have moved into a shadier spot. So my apologies about that. It was cloudy when I started, and the sun's kind of coming in and out, and I'm just going to keep working with it. This is also getting a little long. So I think I'm actually going to save this Freya card from the Story Goddess Oracle till next week. No, I'll go ahead and do it now because it's short. So anyway, the word on the back, expand. May you expand into your sensation of your place in the web of life. May you expand into love. May you expand into beauty and connection. And an affirmation, I choose and change. And then the prayer, Goddess guide me, trust fill me, joy lead me. So most of you are probably familiar with my own personal favorite and classic, if I do say so myself, prayer, Goddess guide me, peace fill me, life weave me. This is a variation of that. Goddess guide me, trust fill me, joy lead me. So may joy lead you this week. May you tap into beauty. May you connect with the landscape, with the animals around you, and may you return again and again. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye. Keep living your magic.